Hey everyone, I am back. So glad to be home. It feels really good to see my own bed again and get back into my routine. Although I loved being on vacation, although sometimes I did have my phone on and my computer just to stay in touch with what I was working on. However, because I planned this trip in March, I had all this time in between to sort out my priorities and get everything in order for this week and a half that I could take off to make sure everything was organized and I could still stay on track and perhaps miss a few days in between and not have to worry if I was missing anything or missing any deadlines. So everything was good. And I just wanted to talk to you about some things that I learned while on vacation. So in my previous video, I talked about how I was in Nikina, which is actually a population of about 300 maybe now. And so I have some family that still lives there, so I went out there and there's this little town and there's nothing to do there except for fishing and visiting with family. And putting those two together, perfect vacation. So I spent 2 days there, went fishing with my dad. We caught our limit right away, took less than 2 hours. The fishing there is unreal. And spent time with my grandma and my aunt, my cousins, and it was really great to catch up because I haven't been there in about 5 years. And then I went to Thunder Bay to visit some friends and family. And then from Thunder Bay, a friend and I went to New York for the weekend. And it was our first trip, and it was our first trip together. So I was a little concerned about how this would go because sometimes you never know, traveling with somebody else, how their everyday routine is going to jive with yours. And I don't see her very often, so I don't know a whole lot about how she is. About with living with her and her routine and what she does on a daily basis. However, we both survived and we're still friends, so that's a good sign. And I can't wait to take the next vacation with her. So in New York, I learned a few things that if your cell phone does die, the world is not going to end. So for this trip, we walked around a lot. Sometimes we were out for 8-9 hours at a time. And when you're Google mapping stuff, you use a lot of your data and your phone will die. So sometimes there was a day when my phone died at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we didn't come back till about 7 o'clock at night. So that whole time I didn't have a cell phone. And guess what happened? Nothing. I was free. Nothing. The world didn't end. I didn't miss out on anything. Nobody was hurt that I didn't hear about. Nothing bad happened during this time. I got to enjoy my trip, enjoy my time with my friend in New York. And sometimes it's okay to take that time to relax and kind of take yourself out of the technology world because we do rely heavily on it. So sometimes it's okay to take the time away from it and really just enjoy it. When I got back to the hotel, obviously I plugged that thing right in and charged it right up, and I caught up on stuff, and really it wasn't anything. I didn't miss out on anything, so it's okay. Something else I learned was that the best adventures are when you can create your own. During the time we were in New York, we didn't take any sort of transportation to get around. We didn't take taxis. We didn't take the hop-on, hop-off buses to get around. We walked everywhere. So we actually got to see a lot more. We got to take in a lot more of New York, which is amazing. And I think doing that made us really just appreciate where we were, and we got to see a lot more and do a lot more things and, take the time to just enjoy where we were instead of worrying about, cost of transportation or if we were missing out on something because we drove by it. So I think if I have any advice for anyone going there for the first time, really just take the time to take it all in, walk around. Don't set an itinerary unless you're one of those people that needs to, and just kind of go with the flow. We didn't have an itinerary. We just kind of went to see what it was all about, and we loved it. And another thing that I want to share with you guys is if somebody gives you a piece of advice, it's usually for a reason, and you should probably take it. So the one thing that I do regret is, I had a couple friends tell me to pack my running shoes and make sure that I wore them every day because I was going to need them. Now me, being a girl, like probably a lot of you out there, we like to dress up and we don't like to wear runners as regular shoes. We like to wear sandals, especially in this 30-degree weather where it's really hot out and you just want to let your feet breathe and get that little tan on your feet. You don't want to be stuck in running shoes. Well, I regret that because my feet are in rough shape now. At the end of every day, our legs and feet were aching, and it was hard on our back. So if I have any advice for you, it's to bring those running shoes, and your feet will thank you for that. And it really doesn't matter what you look like or how you dress, it's how you feel, and you have to take care of your body. So that's extremely important. And I apologize for the people that have gave me that advice and I didn't listen. I'm sorry. Next time I will. So that is my trip in a nutshell. I can't wait to plan my next vacation. I'm not sure where I'm going to go. If you guys have any tips or advice, I promise I'll try and take it. Or if you have any suggestions on where I should go, please drop a below. I'd love to hear about it. And, let me know about your adventures in New York if you've ever went. By the way, one of my favorite places to go in New York was Soho and the West Village. If you guys are fans of Sex and the City, I did go see Carrie Bradshaw's house, and it's as beautiful as it is on TV. And I went to some of the places that they visited in New York because I love the show and I needed to see it. And yeah, so that was mine. I love Soho and the West Village and Chinatown. It was great. If you want to learn more, ask me questions below. I'd love to share with you guys how my trip went in even more detail. I did post some pictures, so feel free to look at them. I'll post more later. And yeah, so thanks for listening and tune in next time to my next video. Bye!